to share with you, there's about 90 million people in our profession in an industry that does well over $160 billion. He is called the Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan of this industry, okay? He makes more in 1 month than some people make in 2-3 decades, okay? But if you ask him, that's probably not what he's most proud of. He's most proud of probably, the hundreds of thousands of lives he's been able to impact with this incredible product and this incredible financial vehicle. His goal and his vision is a lot higher and stronger here with Organo Gold to literally to become the most admired corporation here in the world. That's our vision for Organo Gold. And really start off as 1% capturing in the coffee industry. His vision is much greater. A family man knows 100% of the information. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Holton Buggs. Mr. Buggs, are you on the call?
Absolutely. Can you hear me, Kyle?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Take it away.
Man, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for the introduction. And all of those people whose names that you just actually called, who actually helped make this call a huge success, I want to thank you guys for putting your passion into introducing people to this information that we're going to share tonight. I also want to thank Mike Rickman. Mike is the one who actually put this call together and connected with me and says, hey, listen, can we get together and do another conference call? We'll promise to pack it out. So congratulations on another packed out call. But most importantly, I want to reach out to the guests who are on the line, those of you who are dialing in for the very first time. Some of you may have even had a sip of our coffee. Some of you may not have even had your very first cup yet, but maybe you're just listening in on the line for the very, very first time. My goal on this call is to be very brief, but I believe I can be very effective without being eternal. And most importantly, my objective is to share with you and paint a picture of an opportunity that I believe can be very impactful. And that's should you see the opportunity, should you see it the way that I saw it, should you see it the way Kyle saw it, and many others around the world. I can tell you that many people around the world have seen it from a perspective that have allowed our company to become the fastest growing momentum-based company in the entire world in network marketing. And a little about my history of why Organo Gold, how I got involved, and why did I get involved. I had been in this industry for 18 years. 18 years I had been involved with network marketing, and I didn't succeed the first 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It was a lot of practice, which means I made no money or very little money, and but I knew that it worked. I had seen what happened, and you can't have $160 billion of revenue without somebody succeeding. And what I realized was that it did work. I realized that most businesses do work. And people who say that they don't work, it's just that they were just like me. They just didn't find a way to make them work for them. And but I realized that I could. I realized that I could learn something, and I could figure some things out, and I can have it work for me. And that's what I did. I learned a few things and figured some things out through some coaching and mentorship of other people. And I found a way to make network marketing work for me to the point that I was able to retire at the age of 27. We had actually, earned and become millionaires by the age of, before the age of 30, and kind of the rest is history now. I'm 41 years of age right now, and I can tell you, life, it seems like it gets better and better and better every single year. But about 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, I was introduced to a concept called Organo Gold. This call that you're actually hearing about tonight. I was introduced to it then, and at that time, I was not looking. I was not looking to get involved with Organo Gold. I had someone call me up and told me that they had found what they believed was the greatest product that was ever designed for network marketing. Now, here I was, a successful 7-figure earner in the industry, doing extremely well with where I was, and I was not a coffee drinker. I did not drink coffee. And so the very first thing that I gave as a rebuttal, or my excuses to why I had no interest, was because I didn't drink coffee. And my second reason was everybody already is drinking coffee, so I don't have a marketplace in which I can compete in. That was my rationale, and I can tell you those two things were probably the most expensive excuses that I could have used, because really those were the two reasons why I should have gotten involved. And then what happened a little bit later on is I ended up hearing something from Warren Buffett, where Warren Buffett said, things that you like to do, make them your hobby. Things that the world like to do, invest in them and make them your business. that was when I realized that I did not have to personally be a coffee drinker in order to get involved in the business of coffee. And so it made it acceptable. It made it okay for me to get involved in the business. And so what happened is 4 months later, I was looking. Four months later, after he had sent me my first cup of coffee, I actually was looking. My mode and my stream of residual income had been interrupted in a previous company, and things weren't going as well as I wanted them to go, and I was looking. I was financially independent, but I love residual income. I love the prospect of being able to do something one time and be able to get paid on the efforts of what you did a long time ago. That really appealed to me. Why? Because I'm one of those people that's ambitiously lazy. I'd rather work very hard for a short period of time and be able to take the rest of my life off versus work mediocre or be average in my work effort but do it for 40 years, because I've watched and seen people who've done it, parents of mine, grandparents of mine, my parents, friends of my parents, or parents of my friends. I've seen them do it. And what I realized is that it wasn't a lifestyle that I wanted. I didn't judge those people, but I recognized that there was more to life that could be offered, and I wanted it. I was one of those kids who, if there was more that was available, I wanted more. And that's what network marketing has done for me. It's allowed me to get that little bit more. And some of you on this call, maybe your goal is that you want that little bit more. Some of you may want a lot more. Some of you really may want to just hit the ball out of the park and really write your own ticket. And some of you on this call may be in a position where all you really want is to supplement your income. Maybe you just want to make a part-time income. And guess what? Whatever your goal is, that's great. And there's going to be some of you on this call that nothing that I said on this call today will make sense to you, but hopefully our coffee tastes extremely good or our tea tastes good to you, and you will become a customer. I certainly believe that every person has an opportunity who's listening to me right now, and some of it will be through the product and some of it will be through the opportunity, and for many of you it will be actually both of them. And so when I started to look, Organo Gold was not on my radar at the time, but I was looking. I had 23 companies of which I was evaluating, and so I started a process of elimination of companies that didn't fit the profile of what I was looking for. And lo and behold, here it was. I walked into my pantry. I see that box of coffee that he had sent me, and that was when I had heard about the Warren Buffett story. And I said, you know what, I could do this. And I grabbed that coffee, I drank it, make a cup, and drink it, and I thought it tasted pretty good. I had never drank coffee before, so I didn't have a reference. And so immediately, because I didn't have a reference, I gave some to my wife to see what her thoughts were. She thought it was great. I gave some to some neighbors, 10 of my neighbors, and what I recognized, out of 10 neighbors, I had 7 of them who loved the coffee, 3 of them who wanted more information on the opportunity. And that was to me, that was a big surprise to me. That was something that was really exciting to me. And so I started to investigate a little bit more and gave some more samples to some friends. And I recognized within about an 11-day period of time, just by giving samples and having the gentleman send me more coffee to give samples, there were over 600 separate orders within 11 days that myself and a few of my business friends had actually accumulated on a retail basis. People who wanted to buy some of the coffee and the product, and I got really excited. Let me share with you what we did. We put a very simple system in place that basically allowed us to use 4 simple questions that we asked people, and what we found is that using those 4 questions, 1 out of every 5 people that we asked those 4 questions to wanted to become a distributor once we followed up with them. 2 out of every 5 wanted to become a retail customer. That was 3 out of every 5 people that we gave a free sample to. We never tried to sell anything to them. 3 out of every 5 wanted to participate. Let me share with you what that did. That was September the 22nd of 2008 when we actually got started. We started the sampling process September the 11th, and that was at 11 days we had 600 orders. And I decided Organo Gold is going to be that company. What am I going to do with all these customers and people who want to buy this coffee anyway? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me kind of take you through what happened through Wave 1 and bring you up to speed as to what we're talking about right now. You heard Kyle talk about Wave 2. Using that sample methodology with no great website, our product really didn't even have our company's name on it. We didn't have a wide range array of products like we have today. What we did is we used that sample-based model from September 22nd to December 31st that year. We gave away and actually generated $2 million in sales. Now, you may say, wow, that's really not a lot of money. And it's really not. But that was just the first 4 months, $2 million in sales. Now, what happened the next year is that the full year we did $9 million. And that was in 2009. 2010, we did $47 million. Okay? 2011, we did $152 million. 2012, we went over right at the $300 million mark. Okay? And last year, ladies and gentlemen, we did around $380 million in 2013. And this year, we are crushing it this year already, and already on a record-breaking pace. We just opened our 35th country in Portugal. And I heard somebody from Nigeria who's on the line, and Nigeria will be opening over the next 4 months, 4 to 5 months, we'll be opening in Nigeria. Now, you say, well, what does that have to do with Wave 1, or what does it have to do with me? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Wave 1 was really an aspect of our company where we were really attracting people who really had not much of a background in the industry of networking, people that had what I call short or small influences. It was really what I call a mom-and-pop's business, just people who really love coffee, people who love sharing the coffee, making a little bit of money from it. And what we did is we put a system in place, a 4-step system, that trained them on how to actually build businesses. And what we did is during Wave 1, we created 4 of the top 10 income earners in the entire world of network marketing. We're talking about people who are earning multiple millions of dollars per year. Now, I'm not here on this call saying that that's going to be you or to guarantee that that's an income that you can earn or that's an income that you will earn, but it's just to give you an example of what we did in Wave 1. Now, all the people that we've been able to help, and we've got many, many, many people who are million-dollar earners in our company, but those people, the majority of them were not networkers. They were regular people from different backgrounds, but they had big, big goals, big dreams. They worked extremely hard, became very coachable and teachable, and they taught our 4-step system. That was Wave 1. Well, what we realized is that our company had accomplished its goal, but we knew we were going to go through another phase that's called Wave 2, and this is Wave 2. This is one of the biggest opportunities, I believe, right now, just starting in 2014, Wave 2. Our first 5 years, guess what it's done? Almost $1 billion in sales, and Wave 2, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is going to be 10 times larger than Wave 1. People say, well, what would have happened if I would have got started in Wave 1? Well, the chances are that you would have experienced what I experienced. You would have experienced the back orders of product. You would have experienced IT glitches and issues. You would have experienced customer service hold times that were sometimes 2 hours because we weren't prepared. Well, now we have all of those things in place, and our company is a much better company right now, but the opportunity is absolutely huge. It's a much bigger opportunity because the story you have behind you right now is very strong evidence. It's kind of like knowing that you're going to play professional basketball and wondering whether you're going to win a championship, and you found out that you just got drafted to the Miami Heat. There's a great, strong chance that you're going to win a championship. That's what joining Organo Gold is right now because of the story and the growth and the momentum that's here. What we did in Organo Gold is we recognized the trends of where coffee was going. And what we did is really just get right in front of the trend. And some of those trends we've actually even helped formulate. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about right now. When you look at coffee today, why coffee and network marketing? For those of you who may not understand it, coffee and network marketing, in my opinion, I believe it's the perfect match. See, Starbucks is a company out there who I believe Starbucks and a company called Tim Hortons are the reason that we're able to do what we're doing today. They made it socially acceptable for people to be willing to pay $3, $4, $5 for one cup of coffee. See, never before those companies was that the case. But after they went out and did it, what happened is it became a social event, coffee drinking. And then you had companies out there like McDonald's who came right after them and created a whole new category called McCafe. And when they did McCafe, ladies and gentlemen, it created the coffee wars. And then Burger King came out with their iced mocha. You had companies out there like Wendy's with their coffee frosty. You had many different companies coming out with coffee products. This is just over the last 6 years. Why? Because they recognized the profitability in coffee, and they also recognized that it was an industry of which was growing 20% per year. The age of coffee drinkers are getting younger and younger and younger, every single year, and millions more people are actually consuming coffee. It's one of the fastest growing consumer-based markets in the world worldwide. Okay? And so that's one of the things that we were able to recognize and capitalize on. We looked at the demographic and found out that in North America there's about 340 million people, whereas 255 million of them, they consume 3 to 5 cups of coffee every single day. We recognized, wow, we didn't have to go out and sell a product, that product was already something that they were consuming. All we had to do was find a way to get that product into the consumer's hands, make sure that they love it, and guess what? What we recognize is that people wanted to actually drink our product. Okay? Just imagine if you owned a business where people were involved 3 to 5 times every single day, what type of income or business could you actually build? Well, that's organo gold, ladies and gentlemen. You say, well, okay, well, what separates you from the average coffee that's out there? First of all, the taste. What we recognize is this. We knew where the industry was going. See, the days of people grinding their own beans, guess what? You're still going to have that. That market is not going anywhere whatsoever. Okay? That's a huge market. It's always going to be there. The pound coffee, where people buying it by the pounds and just taking their own scoop, and that market is there, but it's not growing. Where the industry is moving towards and where the market is growing is what they call single-serve, soluble, or transferable or portable coffee in single-serve units. If you look last year, the number one gift that was on magazines all over the entire world was the Keurig machine. Why? Because the patent had just been expired, and that was the number one way people wanted to drink their coffee, single-serve containers. Well, Organo Gold, we were able to do that. We already had that. So what we've done is we have a pre-brewed blend of coffee in an individual package. There's no waste whatsoever. Add 8 to 10 ounces of hot water based on your choice of how you prefer your coffee, and enjoy the delicious taste of brewed coffee. That's what we've been able to do. That's where the marketplace is going. Once we were able to perfect that and make sure that our taste was absolutely incredible, what we recognized was this here, that there were other beverages that we can capitalize on. So not only did we have the coffee, we developed our black coffee, our mocha, our latte. Then we developed teas, green tea, black tea, our red tea. We've got hot chocolate and other beverages that we put into the marketplace. Well, what we find is this here, is that customers and distributors that actually drink coffee and they taste the Organo Gold brand, they become loyal customers. Just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. How many people do you know of who drink coffee? And how many of them have ever had to be reminded that they needed to drink it? See, before I was in networking, I sold nutritional products. I sold nutraceuticals. And you know what? How many of you on this call here take vitamins but forget often? See, nobody forgets to drink their coffee. This is why Organo Gold is so strong. Now, the other element that separates us outside of the taste is an herb that's called Ganoderma. Ganoderma is an herb that's grown over in China. It's got about 4,000 years of history behind it, okay, in terms of Ganoderma. It's got some incredible properties that actually allow the body to perform much better than it is because of all the toxins that we possess and all of the things that we put in our body that are not good for us. It actually helps boost the immune system and support the immune system. It's strong in antioxidants. But just do a Google search yourself and just Google the word Ganoderma, Ganoderma, and you will find about 7 million pages of documentation surrounding that particular herb. What Organo Gold has been able to do is find the purest forms of Ganoderma that's out there, put it into an extract form, infuse it into coffee. But the key thing is that you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it, but every single cup that somebody consumes, it's in there, making every single cup that one would drink or consume the healthiest cup of coffee that one could actually consume. And once we've done that, ladies and gentlemen, we realize that we actually took the health and put the health inside the habit, and it's called Organo Gold. What we did then is we put together a compensation plan and said, okay, how could we actually position this as a business where people could actually profit from it? As I mentioned to you, we put together our 4 questions to allow us to get consumers. It also turns some of those into to distributors. But we also put a 4-step system and a training program in place to make it very simple. That's why we say it's easy, it's simple, it's coffee. We put a compensation plan in place, ladies and gentlemen, that is second to none, and this is one of the biggest reasons why we've created the top income earners in the entire world, and we did it in just 4 short years. Just to give you an example, the top earner in the industry prior to Organo Gold had been there since 1959. That company was there for 1959. Organo Gold is a company founded 5.5 years ago, and the top 2 earners in the entire world are Organo Gold distributors. That's to let you know that this is a company that is doing some things that no other company in the world has ever done before. To give you an example of our compensation plan and how it works, it's a very simple plan. The first one is retail. Retail is the first way that we get paid. It's just simply the difference between the wholesale cost and the price that your customer pays. Okay? You can sell that to them person to person, or you can use our Coffee Connoisseur program, which is an individual website that each distributor receives. They have their own retail environment for all of their customers, and you will sell the product to them online. The company will take care of your customer and send all the profits to you. It's a great way for customers to actually have a great retail environment, and you get paid for it. Now, the second way is what we call fast-track commissions. Fast-track commissions have to do with when other people want to get involved, you enroll them into the business, and they choose one of our optional packages. And when they do that, Organo Gold will reward you up to $150 for each pack or each distributor that you enroll who comes into the business with one of the promotional packages. Okay? Now, income number 3 is what we call the dual team. The dual team is that accelerated income. Okay? This is what the extreme team is very good at, is working that dual team in the very beginning. Why? It's team commission. There's 2 teams that the company will allow you to build. One team on your left, one team on your right. And what happens is this. At the end of every week, the company will actually take a look and a snapshot of all of the first order business and all of those promotional pack business that came into your entire organization all the way down through infinity. And what they'll do is they'll look at it and pay up to 20% of the lesser team's volume. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you right now, I've been doing networking for now 23, almost 24 years this year, and this is the most generous compensation as a dual team that I've ever seen within the entire network marketing industry. Okay? And so we're talking some accelerated incomes based off of how fast you want to go. You can grow slow, you can grow medium, or you can grow extremely fast. It's up to you. I can tell you right now, this extreme team, they have that name for a reason because they understand how to build. Now, the most important income that I believe is the residual income. You know, sometimes you hear about residual income. Residual income basically is like a royalty-based income. It's an income that's completely different. It's not taught in schools because in schools we're taught linear. We're taught get a job and you go put hours in and they pay you for those hours. If you stop putting hours in, they stop paying you for the work. And that means that your income is tied to your effort or your ability to go out and perform. This is why when most people retire, they retire and their income goes backwards because they have no residual component to their income. Organo Gold has the strongest residual component that I've seen within the industry. Let me give you an example of how ours work. Every single cup of coffee that is actually sold or actually resold, it goes through the residual part of our program, and there's 4 separate commissions assigned to each cup. I want you to imagine every time somebody who's directly or indirectly drinking coffee through your organization, there's 4 separate commissions that you're actually earning. You know, the way we calculate it, it's somewhere between 3 to 7 cents that you can earn every time somebody's drinking coffee within your organization. How does it work? Let me give you an example here, and I want you to answer 2 questions. This will determine whether or not this is for you and whether or not you can position yourself to receive residual income here. And I want to give you an example. What I'm going to give right now is not a guarantee, but I want you to determine whether or not you believe you can do what I'm going to ask. I want you to understand that there's 2 things that we do to create income in Organo Gold. The very first thing that we do in Organo Gold is our goal is to create a community of coffee drinkers. That's retail customers. The second thing that we do is that we go out and we enroll other distributors who are looking to build themselves an income, to help us go out and build a community of coffee drinkers. So my questions to you are this. Let's just say in the first 30 days you get started, do you believe that you can actually change the brand of coffee that at least 10 people within your neighborhood are consuming? Just 10 people in your neighborhood. Can you change them from Tim Hortons to Organo Gold, from Folgers to Organo Gold, from Starbucks to Organo Gold, Community Coffee to Organo Gold? Do you believe just 10 people that you know, whether they're in your neighborhood, whether they're at your workplace, whether they're at your church, whether they're at your workout place, 10 people that you can actually change the brand by giving them free samples of coffee? Well, if you said yes, then that means that the first part you can succeed at. Let me give you an example of what that does. The average customer actually buys about 2 boxes of coffee from us on a monthly basis. That represents about a $15 profit per box. We're looking at $30 in commissions per customer times 10. That's a $300 income. Now remember, when customers finish drinking coffee, what do? They reorder. Why? Because they've never, ever, ever been in a position where they forget to drink their coffee and they drink it every day. That means that you've put yourself in a position just by, within your first 30 days, if you did nothing else, a $3,600 increase in income for the year. $3,600 increase. If you never went and talked to anybody else just by completing step number 1. Now, let's talk about real exponential residual here. My second question is this. Do you believe that in the first 18 months, do you believe that we could assist and show you our 4-step system through Wave 2 of how to build a team of 1,000 distributors just within the first 18 months? Okay? Well, if you're saying I believe so or you're saying yes, let me share with you what you just said yes to. Let me give you an example of how that works. Let's say you've got 1,000 distributors that are enrolled into your team. Now, remember, that doesn't mean that you went out and got 1,000. It just means that your entire team is 1,000 distributors strong. Now, remember, we're going to teach them how to get 10 customers. That's 10,000 customers that are now within your network. The average customer buys 2 boxes of coffee. That's 20,000 boxes of coffee going through your organization every single month. Every single month in this example. Now, we assign a $15 commission or $15 value to each box of coffee in this example here. When you look at that, 20,000 times 15 is going to give you $300,000 in coffee sales going through your organization. $300,000. Now, Organo Gold is going to pay a commission somewhere between 8 and 12% on the entire volume in this example. It could be a little less. It could be a little bit more. Let's just take the middle and say 10%. Well, if you look at that, 10% times 300,000, that's $30,000 of residual income, and I'm only speaking on customers. This has nothing to do with the distributor coming in your organization or any recruiting efforts. It's just on the customer base alone. That is the residual component of Organo Gold. You might probably say, well, Holton, you know what? I've been working for 10 years or 15 years, and that just sounds a little too good to be true. Well, maybe it is. Let's just say I was 90% wrong. After 18 months, it's still $3,000 a month. In this example, if I was 90% wrong in my assessment, that's $3,000 per month. Let me ask you a question. If you stop working on your job today, some of you have been working there for 5 years, 10, 15, 20 years, would you still make $3,000 a month from all the work that you've done, for the millions that many of you have created for the owners of those companies? The answer is no. And the reason why, it's not because you're a bad person or because the company is bad. It's because the compensation is just not set up to do that. It's set up to do one thing, to pay you for working. Organo Gold pays you for the work that you did and the work that you will do. That's the beauty of residual income. Okay? And our last commission that we have is called a car bonus. We have a Mercedes-Benz car program for those of you who really want to go out there and use your leadership skills. And when you get to our first leadership position called Sapphire, which requires about $14,000 in total volume in your organization, Organo Gold will reward you with a car bonus. And that car bonus can get up to $1,000 per month. And you go out and choose a Mercedes-Benz of your choice. Okay? That's how our residual and our compensation plan works. Getting started in Organo Gold is a very simple process. The first part is getting involved through an Organo Gold business kit, $49 for that business kit. It was going to come with a website that hosts everything that you need Everything is calculated there on the website. You don't need to do any other websites. It's all there for you. And Organo Gold now gives you the ability to buy all the products at wholesale that we will market. Everything you get here. The second opportunity is to choose one of our optional packages, the bronze, silver, or gold package. The bronze package is $150 in addition, so that's a $200 total cost. You've got about $150 in products that you'll have. And Organo Gold says, you know what, because of that volume, we're going to start you off at 10% of your lesser team's commissions. Okay? Now, the other option is what we call the silver packs, $449 additional dollars. That means you've got about a $500 start. Organo Gold says, okay, you got $450 in products, so we're going to start you off at 15% in terms of your dual team commissions. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's the ultimate package that most people choose, and it's called the Organo Gold Gold Pack. The Organo Gold Gold Pack is around $1,300 total. You've got about $1,300 in product that you're going to receive. But because of that volume, Organo Gold says we'll pay you up to 20% of the lesser team's volume in forms of a commission. That means you get paid the exact same percentage that I get paid, the exact same percentage that Cal Salon and all of the top leaders, Mike Rickman, and any of the top income earners around the world earn that exact same percentage. You know, often in companies, it will take you years and sometimes months to actually earn the same percentage of commissions because of seniority. Organo Gold's comp plan says, you know what, we're going to start you off day one with the same earning potential in that dual team compensation plan based on the volume that you, which one of those promotional packages that you choose to start with. You know, the main thing I want to share with you is this. What we did in Wave 1 was exceptional. It was great. It broke records within the industry. What we're going to do in Wave 2 is going to be absolutely amazing. And I believe, as I mentioned, I believe it will be 10 times greater than what we did in Wave 1. The biggest thing I want all of you to know is that Wave 2 will happen. The thing I want you to really understand is that it will happen with or could happen without you. You know, for you, I really hope for you and your family that it happens with you. I can tell you right now, we've had a blast through Wave 1. Wave 2 is already kicking off to an incredible start, and we want you with us. Our goal is capturing 1% of the coffee industry, and I believe we're going to get that done within the next 2 years. That represents $125 million a month of coffee sales. And Organo Gold's 50-50 comp plan means that we'll pay up to 50%. 50% of every dollar that comes in goes back to our distributors. That's $62.5 million per month split between those distributors who are going out following this four-step system. And my question to you is this. Would you want to be one of those who are splitting it? So if so, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly suggest get with the person who invited you onto this conference call. Let them know that you want to be a part of Wave 2. Let them know that you want to go ahead and get started. Choose your optional packages, and I hope you choose the Gold package because it gives you the biggest option of products to sell and highest potential commissions to start with. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what? We're going to help you put some people in your business and some money in your pocket. And as we always say, remember, it's easy, it's simple, it's coffee. It's been great to speak with each and every one of you, and I'll see all of you at the top. So thanks a lot, Cal Salon, for having me on this call. Thanks, Mike Rickman, and all of the team right here from Team Extreme. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks, and good night to all of you. Goodbye.